I'm standing in a small graveyard near the outer city. I can hear meteors hitting the dome and the sounds echo around in my empty head. I feel hollow. Red is standing next to me as the empty casket is readied to be lowered into the ground. And one of the faceless bureau higher-ups makes a brief speech about Blue's loyalty and bravery. It makes me want to throw up. So his partner wasn't invited to speak at his funeral. Blue did this for me. He saved my life. He sacrificed himself for me, and yet I don't even know how I survived or why I deserve to be here. Because you're the main character in a game. I mean, if you died, it would be a very short game, wouldn't it? I catch sight of my warped reflection in the casket. My face is a mask with no expression. I feel hot and cold at the same time, and I hug my arms tightly against my body. I can't bear this. I can't comprehend it. I should be sad, and I think I am, but mostly right now I'm livid. Surprisingly, Red just stands there, her usual bravado gone. It's almost as if all the life has been sucked out of her. I don't think she even expected things to turn out this way. They were close beforehand, remember? As other agents move forward to pay their respects, Red and I both remain still. I don't want this ritual. I don't want to resign myself to Blue's death. I close my eyes, waiting for him to show up, to tell us all how he cheated Lady Luck once again, but no matter how long I wait, nothing changes. I would expect Red to be bursting at the seams with rage at this moment, but she is strangely calm. I mean, what can she do? Also, her hair's white. Was it white before? Oh, I guess. As if, just for the moment, she is an entirely different person, some past figment that was thrown away and forgotten. My own emotions overtake me, and I have to breathe deeply and slowly control myself. The other agents have finished their processional to pay their respects, and I'm left standing by Blue's grave with only Red for company. Red jerks her head in a kind of nod towards Blue's coffin, then walks away. I'm here alone. Just me. Yeah, I guess all the Matrix agents don't count. Blue. I have to stop for a moment. I let the emotions wash over me, and then I steady myself and face his grave resolutely. I won't waste it, I promise. With me at the helm, you might have to consider that. I don't stay to see the rest of the proceedings. After all, the coffin is empty, and I don't want to believe the Blue spirit is being laid to rest. He isn't. We didn't see him die. Walking away from the grave, I head to my car to return to the bureau. The chief requested my presence. For what, I do not know. It had better be to tell me what the plan is for getting even with the Selenon. What would Blue tell me if he were here? I wish I could just hear his voice again. All the way back to the bureau, I replay the last night that Blue and I spent together, and I wish things had gone differently. I don't. They were fine as they did. I replayed the car crash and pulling Blue's unconscious body out of the window. Oh, that night. Yeah, no, that's understandable. I replayed the moment that Blue disintegrated into nothingness right before my eyes, and there was nothing I could do about it. Could be transportation. Just want to put that out there. Why didn't I give myself to the Selenon? I could have saved Blue if I weren't so damn stubborn. All I've been able to do since it happened was think about that moment when Blue turned around and looked at me, the look in his eyes. But as my mind jumps to that moment, I go back to another moment when I wasn't myself, when the voice in my throat wasn't my own. What on earth happened to me after the Dark One tried to kill me? There is so much I don't understand. You're joking, that wasn't the end of the episode. There's more. There's actually more. I thought that would be a perfect time to end the episode, this. I'm not talking about my episodes, as in my parts. I'm talking about the game's episode. I pull up in front of the bureau and get out of my car. I was told it's about 2 hours, and I know I dick around during playthroughs, but I think this is a bit longer than 2 hours at this point. The trip down to the chief's office is a blur, and suddenly I'm standing in front of the large oak door. Miss Pierce isn't in the outer office, so I knock several times. Unperturbed, she opens it and gestures for me to come inside. My condolences would be nice, I swear, if they'd just give me another partner and brush it off. Agent Violet is here, Chief. Good, you're here. I wanted to talk to you about your next assignment. Yep. As you know, you have a contact in Sala's camp. We want you to work that contact and try to gain access to their supply routes coming from outside the city. Little sympathy. That's just a feeling I'm getting, you know? Very little sympathy. Is this where we defect over to the rebels? With all due respect, sir. What does this have to do with getting even with the Selenon for Blue's, for Blue? I don't think they are. I think they're just hoping that the Selenon have gone and that they're going to ignore us from now on. I'm not sure of your meaning, Agent. I mean, how are we going to avenge his death? We will do no such thing. Miss Pierce is correct. We aren't going to do anything to the Selenon. The Bureau's top priority is to keep the Selenon happy at any cost in order to protect humanity. They did sort of just... I mean, you were there, weren't you? You know, fire and chaos among the city. Oh, well, I sort of expected this. I understand what our priorities are, sir, but they obviously aren't working. Wasn't Blue human too? Didn't he deserve your protection? Agent Blue perished in the line of duty. He was performing his job as should have been. A bit harsh. While it is a pity that he will be no longer working as part of the Bureau, it is not a matter that requires further action. I'm going to assume that the Bureau has a very high turnover rate. Miss Violet, I doubt Blue would have wanted us to waste valuable time arguing over a point that's already moot. Blue did more than his duty. He saved my life. He saved it and he died. All for what? So the Selenon would get their blood? Tell me that this pact you have with them entails. Right now, you're no better than the Selenon. Well, yeah, the more you say that, I don't know about you, but I like keeping my job. That's just the thought I'm having. The room momentarily falls silent at my outburst, then Miss Pierce speaks, her voice like a glacier. You are still new to the Bureau. I would advise you to avoid making any rash statements. I lower my voice to match Miss Pierce's and make my tone equally cold as I answer. Actually, I think this is exactly the time to be making rash statements. We're definitely defecting, aren't we? Pierce pauses for a moment, adjusting her glasses. The Chief clears his throat. Violet, I had not hoped to bring this up, but perhaps it is time for you to be told what the pact truly is. Maybe fucking so! It had better be something worthwhile that makes Blue's death worthwhile. You see, the truth is that the Dark One, he created the Bureau. I thought we knew that. I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood something early in the game, but I thought we knew that the Selenon were in charge of the Bureau. Did we not? Yeah. I can't. No, we clearly didn't. I stumbled backwards, my ears ringing from the sudden shock of blood rushing to my head. It can't be. That monster was behind all of this. Yes! Maybe that was my brain making sense of the connections then, but come on! Oh yeah, we're here to, you know, keep the Selenon happy, lol, and we're self-created, and they're fine with that. Of course that's not true. Is it such a surprise? After all, your powers are the same as those of the Selenon. Who do you think gave them to you? I don't know. I was expecting something else, anything else. The Selenon nearly destroyed humanity. The Dark One could have easily obliterated us, but he gave us the chance to redeem ourselves for our past sins. I don't know, something Final Fantasy X? The Selenon are basically sin. Got it. You're talking about him as if he were a god. He's a murderer. What part of the Selenon's existence ever involved protecting humans? That is exactly what the rebels want you to believe, but, Violet, the truth is that we were the ones who struck first. We brought this upon ourselves by deciding to wage war against them. Somehow I find it hard to believe that the Selenon were emissaries of peace. The Selenons are beings beyond our comprehension. To assume anything about them would be foolhardy at best. That is what led us to this point in the first place. So who speaks to the Selenon then? Come on, you must have some sort of vague understanding as to what's going on with them, surely. I don't have the right to assume that the Selenon are evil. The proof is in front of my eyes. Believe what you want to believe, but without the Dark One, none of us would be here. No, without the Dark One, Blue would still be here. I mean, I sort of see where Violet's coming from, but she's wrong and right at the same time. I turn on my heel to walk out of the Chief's office without looking back. She's being unusually forceful. Do you think she's truly in control of her emotions? Given what's happened here, perhaps she should be given leave. The worst thing to do when an Esper has lost control is to let them dwell in on their own thoughts. They need something to concentrate on other than being themselves, otherwise they might become dangerously unstable. How are we hearing this? But what would that threat pose? She can only read people's minds. Is that what she told you? I'm not sure you know exactly what an Esper is capable of. Yeah, we got, remember, the lightsaber of LGBT pride. Thank you very much. Now then, I should return to the reconstruction efforts. Wait, Pierce, what did you mean? What else can an Esper do? Hang on, Esper ranks above the Chief. Huh. You shouldn't concern yourself with that. After all, I will never let it happen. Sorta already did, buddy. Oh, well, that's a relief, I think. By the way, I believe you had a meeting scheduled in 5 minutes. Right, I'd best be going to the meeting. I mean... this is more tiring than I thought. Fucking damn straight it is. I quickly made my way out of the headquarters, fuming. I can't believe the chief's going to absolutely do nothing about Blue. He was one of us. He was arguably the best agent, the best man. It hurts so much. I burst out of the front doors of headquarters, and then that speech bubble was way too short for us to ever read what was said there. I did sort of assume Red would come along. Yeah, because she's called Red, I just assumed that her hair would be red. Apparently it's not, I just haven't noticed. I guess, I don't know, you know, there is such a thing as too much red. Jesus, Red, what is wrong with you? Can't you teleport a little further away from the person you're trying to scare to death? Shut up and come with me. Red grabs my wrist and pulls me into the alleyway next to her headquarters. Get off of me! I shake her grip from my arm and stand staring at her angrily. Oh, looks like the newbie's finally grown a pair. If you want us to come with you, maybe you should fucking tell us what it is, not keep us hanging in suspense. What do you want, Red? I'm really not in the mood for your attitude today. Underneath her usual anger and taunting, I can detect a strain of sincerity. Unusual for someone like Red. Whatever she means to say, it must be serious. Fine, I'll cut to the chase. Sandman, he may have been a fool, but he was right about one thing. We can become something greater. Excuse me? I'm talking about making sure the Selenon are no longer a threat. Hang on a minute. Like, you're the one who killed him. How do I know this isn't about making you powerful? Yeah, that sounds a lot like the Resistance to me. I'm nothing like those imbeciles. They have no plan to save humanity, just false hope and empty idealism. I believe that the... Why is it every time she gets angry, she fucking puts her hand on the hilt of her sword? Like, you're going on a little bit too far with intimidation here. I believe that the Selenon can fear us, and I think you know exactly what I mean. You saw what happened? It seems my thoughts about you were wrong. You weren't defenseless after all. In fact, you might have some potential. Potential? What are you talking about? I barely escaped with my life. Yeah, against a fucking supernatural alien thingy who could talk to you from your mind. You're not at least a little bit surprised that you survived. Yes, indeed you did. That's what interests me. No human has ever been able to stand up to the Dark One. Not even the Machina could stand in his way. Well, I mean, you say stand in his way. When push comes to shove, all we did is just point at someone else and go, take him instead. And they went, alright, sure, you know? He is the strongest Selenon the Earth has ever seen, and you deflected his attack like a ping-pong ball. I don't claim to know how I did it, nor do I want to know. All I want to be is left in peace. Peace? Do you even realise the power you possess? Why is your sword out? We're in the fucking police parking lot, let's just remember that. With that power, you could make the Selenon bow to your will. Excuse me. You and I, we're both one of a kind. We have the potential that others lack. You just don't have the skill to use it. How dare you? I'm offended. But if you join me, maybe you won't need someone to defend you anymore. A sudden shock goes through my body and I feel my blood run cold. Joining her, would it truly allow me to fight a Selenon? That seems impossible. But I can't deny what happened earlier. I saw it with my own eyes. I'm not sure what to say. Say yes and get on with it. Be surprised on your own time. I need an answer now. I don't know. If we say no here, do we still get, like, the opportunity to defect? Because I'm liking that option. I just need a minute. You don't get a minute. Take it or leave it. What exactly does this entail? That is privileged information and you haven't earned the privilege. The Master has decided to grace you with his presence. He will explain everything. What, so you're just going to let someone like me go if I say no? It doesn't seem very likely. Red has a wild look in her eyes that scares me. I want to avenge Blue, but I have the feeling whatever Red has in her mind is way more than that. She is filled with happiness, but something about it is twisted, fueled by her anger and hatred. With Father's guidance, you can become unstoppable. I think she's a little crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Father? Who is this father you're referring to? The one who will grant us the power to oppose. No, control the Selenon, the power of absolute dominion. I'm not sure I trust me and her in control. I don't know, betrayal comes to mind. I think there are other ways of getting things done. I still don't think what you did was right with Sandman. Just killing him? He could have been useful to us. Trust me, men like that are never useful. Yeah, there is no chance. Him and spineless little creeps like Grange, who will sell their measly skills for even the smell of cash, they get exactly what's coming to them, a swift death. Something about the way Red says this and the violence and elation going through her mind makes me stop. Red, did you kill Grange? Well, if I did, that's murder. You're supposed to enforce the law. How can you be so nonchalant about taking another person's life? The mission of the Bureau is to protect humanity at any cost. I'm not sure murder is the right way to go about that. They wouldn't admit it to the general public, but they need people like me, people who aren't afraid to do what's necessary. They don't even know what you're doing. You're not going to get away with this. I'm going to report you. I start to turn back towards headquarters, but Red teleports directly in front of me and pins me to the wall. Listen closely. I was right outside the door during your meeting with the Chief and Pierce, and believe me when I say they're not going to listen to you. They don't care about what you think. They aren't going to believe your word against mine. I'm frozen. Red's face is inches from mine, so don't bother trying it. There is no hint of fear in Red's mind, just pure belief in her own words. Maybe she's right. That outburst I just had in front of Chief is not going to help my credibility. Yeah, you're fucked, buddy. I'm sorry. I make a decision as I stare at Red and I stand up straighter. I'm going to pass. Pass? Yes, as in I'm not interested. That isn't what Blue would have wanted. Yeah, I don't think she's going to take no for an answer, but I'm glad you're trying, I guess. You really think you know what Blue would have wanted? He died for you. Don't you want to... Red's face contorts with anger, though she reins herself in. Fine then, do nothing if you want, but mark my words, the Dark One will die by my hand. So we probably ended up in the same, situation there regardless, right? If we go, I'm interested, we would have found that out and then changed our mind, I think. Without another word, Red disappears. I involuntarily breathe a sigh of relief as soon as she's gone. The intense anger that was pressing on my mind lessens. I have to do something, but following Red would not have been the right choice. She's off her rocker. I continue to my car and open the driver's door. I get in and rest my head against the steering wheel, breathing slowly. I will find a way to make the Selenon pay for what they did to Blue. It's time for their reign of terror to end once and for all. Now I just have to figure out how. I drive home slowly. For the first time in days, I'm very aware of the fact I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going. I go home because I don't know where else to go. I don't know, James? That's just a thought. As I enter my small apartment, it seems cavernous and empty. An overwhelming wave of tiredness sweeps across me, the emptiness reflecting exactly how I feel. I sit down on my couch without turning on a light. Suddenly, something buzzes in my ear. I swat it in alarm and then realise that this is the earpiece. I completely forgot I was still wearing it. You need to be more careful with that. I pull the mic out of my pocket and finger it lightly. Maybe I should try and contact Sam, but what are the chances that he will still talk to me now that I'm not any of use to him? Our alliance is technically over. I put the mic down and stare around the dark apartment. Even though Blue never really spent any time here, it still feels empty without him. How is that possible? I never knew it was possible to miss someone so much so suddenly. Well, you don't know what you're missing until he's gone. I get up and walk towards the kitchen. Maybe I should eat something, although nothing sounds appealing at the moment. Instead, I go to the cabinet and pour myself a drink. We're going to slowly become an alcoholic. Good. Just as I'm about to sit down again, there's a knock on my door. I jump. Who could that be? Take a fucking guess. Hastily picking up my gun from where I left it on the counter, I hug the wall beside the door and open it a crack. Illuminated in the light streaming in from the hallway is an unknown figure. Okay, that isn't who I thought it is. I'll level with you. As I'm about to open my mouth to ask what they want, I notice their face in the darkness. It's Zala. Aren't you afraid that I'll shoot you? Well, you haven't yet. I must have done something right. I think it's more surprise. I wonder if I can't blow your brains out in the time it takes you to close the distance. I don't think you want to shoot me, though. It's because I have something you want. Another option. Shut up. Someone like you could never understand. I need you and you need me. That's just the way it is. Why would I ever join a bunch of deranged criminals? Because of Moonshot. Sounds like you've heard of it before. I haven't heard of anything of the sort. Then maybe I should give you the lowdown. When we attacked the Selenon, the chances were slim, but we knew what we had to do. We had to doom ourselves to extinction. Freedom is the most important thing a living being can have. To live without freedom is to never live at all. I don't know about that. Slaves and the Khaleesi come to mind. The Selenon's idea of order is obedience to their rules and their dictation of our fate. Some people might like having the future laid out for them, but I don't. Is that why you rebels are so suicidal? I sure as hell ain't, no. I still think we have a shot at freedom, but first we need a machina. A machina? Yeah, you heard me. The ultimate weapon. Oh, yeah, sorry. Now that you mention it. I just feel so silly for not knowing. This isn't more of Sandman's guff. This is real. You can see it in the sky every night. Wait, you aren't talking about that hole in the moon? That's exactly what I'm talking about. A machina made that hole. A machina that can stop the Selenon. Lies, that's impossible. I know it exists. Tell me, Violet, if you had a real shot at killing the Dark One, would you take it? You're talking to me like I'm part of your plan. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I did sort of want to defect. That's the cool thing to do here, isn't it? Let me give you it straight, Violet. The reason I wanted you is that we need a pilot. Why ask me and not someone from the Resistance? Only an Esper can use it. Is that why you tried to kidnap me? Because of that insane notion? It doesn't even make any sense. There's only one way to find out for sure. Join us. Are you out of your mind? You think you can just barge in here and expect a bureau agent to help you find the most dangerous piece of technology in existence? Look, it's either that or just stay with the people who aren't going to help anything. It's your choice and you don't appear to want the first one. I was never one for beating around the bush. I won't lie, I never expected to see you eye to eye. Oh no, for you to see eye to eye. But if there's a chance, I have to take it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, am I right? You should already know what my answer is. To be continued. I thought the episode was going to end at the funeral. I'll be honest though, we're probably going to say yes in the next episode. I really hope we're given the choice. Well, that was Selenon Rising first episode. Luckily, the second episode is apparently out really quite soon. So, are we going to be playing it on the channel? Damn straight we are. They're probably going to be longer episodes. Oh, this music. Well, we'll definitely be playing episode 2. Just, yeah, probably in longer episodes. This series appears to be smaller than the others, but it's definitely like I enjoy playing it. And when push comes to shove, that's all that really matters when choosing my games, honestly. My name's ChrisTenarium, thank you very much for watching. If you've gotten to the end of episode 1 and you still haven't subscribed, please do so, I'd very much appreciate it. My name's ChrisTenarium, and I'll see you later. So I was just going to leave the credits roll, and then end the episode, but this has happened, so we've had to make a major cut. So, you didn't all go missing thinking it was just the credits. Target lock, continuing surveillance protocol. Great, I can't wait never to wear that. We got an achievement too. Oh, were you there before? I'm not sure you were. Huh. Well, that was just a little post-credit scene. I have no idea what that means. See you next time.